Hi everyone, Rob here with today's Western Pacific weather update. It's currently the 19th of May 2012 and the tropics have really spun up here in about the past 24 hours. We have two areas that we are currently watching very closely here. They have been deemed by NRL Invest 93W, that is this big area here, and also Invest 94W just towards the east. The more immediate threat at this time, at least towards the Philippines, is going to be this one obviously as it continues to track off towards the west. This one farther towards the east, right just southeast of Guam. This has more of a chance of development, I think, at this time. But good news, it does look like it is going to be tracking more into this direction before it starts to turn off towards the northeast. But let's zoom in on this one first, as I do think it is going to be bringing some heavy rainfall here towards the eastern portions of the Philippines. But this is just a quick look at JTWC's outlook on both of these areas. They do have them both at a low chance of development. It goes between a low, medium, and high, and at that point they often issue a tropical cyclone formation alert. Meanwhile, though, Pegasa still has not put any warnings out on this area just quite yet. But look at the sea surface temperatures. Anywhere you see in red, that's above 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and 80 degrees is usually the cutoff point as far as a tropical weather development. So both of these areas definitely sitting under some very warm sea surface temperatures, allowing for lots of latent heat to get into these storms and produce plenty of energy, which in return would make it much stronger. But let's look at the several different wavelengths here as far as satellite. I've zoomed in on our little Invest 93W here just towards the west of Palau, moving off towards the west. Surface winds at this time are estimated only to be around about 15 to 20 knots, but look at all of this convection associated with it. This is allowing lots of moisture to be continued to pump into this. There is an upper level low off towards the northwest. You can see some of the shear in the clouds here. That's what's suppressing. That's why you see kind of a gap out here. But lots of moisture actually down towards the south. That's bringing all that energy in with it, and still seeing some heavy rainfall out across much of Palau today. And this is actually a look at what the circulation pattern is in the area. You can only get half the pass here, but it does show a cyclonic, at least half of a cyclonic rotation where the center of circulation should be in this area. So it does show that it is slightly getting organized here. Now where is it going to be going though, now that we've demonstrated that it does have some potential? Well, my thoughts are basically due west. Right here is about where you have the center of circulation. If you look at the overall background flow across much of this area, the easterlies are very strong. We'll be pushing this straight west across Mindanao, southern Visayas, before eventually probably recurving as it goes through the South China Sea here. Lots of wind shear out here, though this likely will take a toll on it if it does organize up. But at this time, though, models really are not picking up on this area to speak of, though. For example, here is what the GFS outlook is starting to say on this area, and really nothing organized coming out of it as far as into the next several days. I do think that if it does push out towards the west, and it will remain unorganized, but I do expect some heavy rainfall actually across portions of eastern Visayas, extending down toward eastern Mindanao. We do know that this mountainous terrain, once you get that air pushing onshore, it could run up the side of these mountains, squeeze out that rainfall kind of like a sponge, and could bring a copious amount of rainfall even off here towards Leyte, upwards of about 100 millimeters in a 24-hour period or more could occur, bringing the risk of some flash flooding and landslides. Something to closely watch here in the coming days. But let's shift gears and look towards the east, because we also have this area, and as you can see here into the model outlook, and going into Tuesday, it does develop up here, starts to move off towards the Marianas, and even brings some heavy rainfall and gets a closed circulation. And if we look at actually the CMC model outlook, and this has the sea surface temperatures actually overlaid into the background as it tracks off towards the west, will remain under these very warm sea surface temperatures before pushing off towards the northeast and becoming extra tropical. I do think this does have the potential of becoming a tropical depression, even a tropical storm, so Guam, watch out. Some heavy rain showers could be on tap as this area basically pushes off towards the north here and eventually towards the northwest. Now this time, this is what my thoughts and analysis is on it, but if this ridge off here strengthens a little more, instead, it very well could remain into the easterlies here and give it plenty more time to develop up here. So very early stages on both of these areas, and something to watch here into the coming days. But lastly, I do want to take your attention over here towards Thailand, also Indochina, even extending down towards Malaysia. southwest monsoon has been bringing some very heavy rainfall, where in actually the past several days, some portions of northern Thailand, you see all this cloud cover up here, have received upwards of about 300 to 400 millimeters of rainfall. This is bringing the risk of some flash floods out here. So definitely into your afternoon, the evening hours, if you do see some of these storms developing, do take cover, because they also are going to be accompanied by some frequent lightning as your southwest monsoon continues to kick in across much of this area. And actually, you can kind of see the southwesterly wind. If you look closely on here, look at this little shear line running across the Gulf of Thailand. That's that dominant westerly wind coming through the area here and actually extending off towards the north. So rainy season is really starting up here. But that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. Stay safe out there. Have a great day. Bye.